Back in June, the Drug Enforcement Agency performed its largest raid under Project Synergy, an ongoing initiative targeting synthetic drugs around the globe. That raid spanned 5 countries, 35 states, and included 11 businesses here in eastern Iowa.
Despite the arrests and the progress made in those efforts, synthetic drugs continue to be a problem for doctors and police. Fox 28 News reporter Jason Hackett live in Cedar Rapids tonight to show us just how bad the problems are in his special report. Jason?
Scott and Tiffany, one doctor we spoke to here at St. Luke's says the emergency room has essentially become a revolving door, patient after patient coming in dealing with the effects of synthetic drugs. Many that use the drugs say that they use it for the euphoric feeling it gives you, similar to that of marijuana, but that's where the similarities end.
You all right, John?
The first puff seems harmless.
You all right?
The next few minutes are anything but.
Hallucinations, having unstable vitals, high blood pressure, high fever, seizures.
Before you know it, you're seeing the bright lights of the emergency room.
When they're in the emergency room, they are fighting, they're screaming, they're hallucinating, they're very assaultive. Oftentimes we have to do chemical restraints on them.
Dr. Donald Linder has seen it all when it comes to the effects of synthetic marijuana, commonly known as K2. These days, he's seeing it more and more, and the patients are getting younger and younger.
In our teen and early 20s and 30-year-olds, we're seeing a big rise in that.
In fact, just before our interview with the doctor, a 26-year-old was admitted to the emergency room after overdosing on heroin and K2. And just 2 hours after this interview, a 23-year-old was brought into the ER after an overdose. He has kidney damage and is currently on life support.
There is no antidote. There's no injectable drug that's just going to make all this go away.
There are some out there on the streets who work hard to make it disappear. We can't show you his face, but this undercover agent with the Iowa Division of Narcotics Enforcement is in the middle of the fight, and he says it's been a difficult one to win.
It's always fluctuating.
There's a constant game of cat and mouse between law enforcement and the shops that sell the drugs. Currently, Iowa has laws in place that ban synthetics and their chemical components, but manufacturers find ways around it, changing the chemical composition of the drugs in an attempt to put them outside of the reach of the law.
If that changes just slightly, then the laws have to change and try to meet what we're seeing on the street.
However, the changes manufacturers make are often still close enough to the original formula. Bottom line, if a shop owner says it's legal,
chances are very slim that you're going to find something that's legal.
Legal or illegal, experts say it's all harmful. Curt Wheeler with the area's Substance Abuse Council says not all users see it the same way.
Somehow the kids believe this is safer, that it's legal, I won't get in trouble for using it.
He says because of that, schools and parents are frequently reaching out for guidance and advice. He's trying to communicate the message to kids as well.
I believe that kids are listening. Are we getting them all? No.
Wheeler says oftentimes it takes tragedy to get teens and even some adults to pay attention, as was the case with David Rozga, the Indianola teen who used K2, then committed suicide back in 2010. His death prompted state lawmakers to pursue the synthetic drug laws currently in place.
What we'd like to get to is to be able to open eyes and talk to people without having that tragedy.
But Wheeler says it may take some time.
It's a big problem that's going to be around, I think, for a while because it's ever changing, and for some of these people it's a moneymaker.
Now, the city of Cedar Rapids is trying to stop the problem before it starts. Currently, there's an ordinance in the works that would stop newer tobacco and alcohol shops that open up from selling synthetic drugs. We're covering the corridor in Cedar Rapids tonight. Jason Hackett.